And here we are. I have a plan, I have equipment, and I've spent almost 1 million rubles on the whole project. So, this is going to take a long, long time, but it is necessary, right? It has to happen. Before I get into what I'm going to do, sorry, just a second. Right, here we go. This is one of my new toys that I've spent, honestly, not that much money on. It is effectively a Remington 700, except it's been beefed up and it shoots a very, very nice little caliber of 338 Lapua Magnum. 338 Lapua Magnum packs a little bit of a punch. Let's read the actual description, right? This is a sniper rifle of the US Army. M24 Sniper Weapon System, hence SWS, is based on the Remington 700. It is fitted with a Leupold 10x40mm scope. The M24 has a stainless steel barrel and an adjustable composite stock made from Kevlar and graphite. But like I said, the most important feature of this beautiful little rifle is that it is chambered in 338 Lapua Magnum. 338 Lapua Magnum is one of the more expensive rounds in the zone, but much more importantly, it is a specialized rimless bottleneck centerfire cartridge developed for military long-range sniper rifles. The Afghanistan War and Iraq War made it a combat-proven round with ready, substantial ammunition availability. 338 Lapua is a dual-purpose, anti-personnel, anti-material round, but its anti-material potential is limited. Luckily for the 338, I don't intend on shooting tanks with it. Instead, mutants and personnel in heavy armour, such as Nosorogs, exoskeletons of all description really, are going to be its primary target. Tissue damage very high, highest armor piercing class 4. This is the business end of my kit at long range. The least impressive out of all of this is that I've kept the 1911 because of its style and because I really like how it shoots, and it's handy for dealing with threats up close. Speaking of, I need to get rid of some of the ammo for it. But, other than the battle suit, which I'm sure you can see, actually this is technically a mercenary woodland exosuit. I think Duty calls this a battle suit, but either way, also known as the underwear of an exoskeleton armor, mistakenly known as a Rad Suit, it is basically a blend between heavy bulletproof vest and a really, really heavy exosuit. So it doesn't have the exoskeleton, just the armor from it. Thus it allows for sprinting, but unlike a full exoskeleton, it doesn't really provide all the benefits, both in terms of strength, in terms of resistances and stuff. So it's kind of a, you know, best of both worlds type of situation. I've upgraded all of my weapons pretty darn extensively, but this is the one I wanted to show you the most. This is not a weapon, this is a bloody spaceship. The AR-15 Hera, a deeply modernized AR-15 rifle, usually in service with veterans of freedom. Body kit installed on the weapon allows you to feel confident at firing at any range, but at the same time the weapon is distinguished by a high price due to use very expensive components in the kit. High price in the zone, obviously, because this is damn near impossible to come by, but if you live in Europe, this weapon, without the 60-round magazines, because they're illegal, will set you back some $2,000, which I think is acceptable. I mean, okay, it's a lot, don't get me wrong, it's quite a lot, but it's not completely ridiculous and over the top, right? $2,000 for something like this, I would say is acceptable. Unfortunately, I have given up the grenade launcher, and I've also given up the binoculars, because, well, I have a scope on this thing, so I won't be needing them. But the grenade launcher, I am going to miss a little bit. However, we shall do without it. This is not my final kit forever. I do like the Hera, and I've paid a pretty penny for it. But at the same time, I would like to see what else I can find here. The AK-5C looks very tempting to me. Mind you, its magazine capacity is somewhat limited. Somewhat limited. It's 30, but compared to Hera's 60, it's... well, here's the thing. Game talk right now. Originally, I wanted to go with the HK, but the HK animation looks very, very, very weird when you lower the gun. Everything else looks perfectly fine. Well, actually, no. When you lower the gun and when you sprint, yeah, it doesn't look the best. So instead, I went with this. The other option that I have and that I bought was a Scar, a black tactical Scar. I'm keeping it as an option. However, the real issue at hand there is I don't have a lot of ammo for it. This I have a ton of ammo. So, yeah. The idea is, I'm now going to work to become a little bit more self-sufficient with my ammunition through crafting. Can craft some of it already, but this should work fine for the future. Also, the laser pointer on it is bloody amazing. Unfortunately, it's not a real laser pointer. As you can see, its size sort of doesn't shift with distance, which, well, you get used to. It's engine limitations, and I have to, you know, sort of step out of character and talk about that a little bit at least. I've also disabled some more UI options because, well, it was getting a bit cluttered, honestly. But for now, I'm pretty happy with all of this. The plan, from here on out, is as follows. I have paid, once again, both the ecologists and the free stalkers for some of their, oh, let's say, generosity in giving me another chance. What I intend to do is I intend to scour the southern parts of the map, searching for tools, and then deliver those tools to the ecologists. Hopefully this will be enough to have them not want to shoot me anymore. If that isn't enough, my plan is to then go to the Clear Sky base. Fight Clear Sky's enemies, help them, which will in turn maybe provide some opportunity to work with with the free stalkers or ecologists. If not, I'll just rinse and repeat this same process. Anyways, that's the plan, that's what we're doing. And this time round, we're a heck of a lot better equipped to actually do it. So, without further ado, we're off. I can't actually go through here, can I? No, I cannot. I can go over here. Okay. And just for curious, there's the reload of the magazines. Also, one more thing. Technically, with Stalker Anomaly, again, I'm stepping out of character, right? Technically, you can put 30-round magazines in this rifle. You can put 45 round magazines in this rifle, and it will work. They will reload, they will fire 45 rounds, and then the one in chamber mechanic will work, the bolt will lock back after 46 rounds, if you really min-max it, right, after 45 rounds. It will lock back. When you reload, it will slide forward again, or rather, you will release it forward. Everything will work fine. The only thing that won't change are the actual magazines on the model. Again, engine limitations. So, even though you have a... sorry, man, that was about even though you have a 40 or a 30 or 45 or a 30 round magazine, the model in the game, when you actually reload it, will still be this drum magazine with 60. Thus, for the sake of immersion and realism, I am not going to use any other magazines in this rifle than the ones I'm quote-unquote supposed to. Yeah, I know. One other thing, night vision still doesn't work, even with without the other helmet, or rather without the broken helmets, which, yeah, I don't know how to fix it. I'll look into it, but at the same time, I also kind of don't want to fix it, because I like glow sticks. They're very fun to use, and I like, you know, not being able to see and being in the darkness. And with the fact that now I have actually pretty decent armor and some decent weaponry, well, a little bit of extra challenge wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. So, yeah, it won't exactly ruin the experience. So, anyways, that's about it. That's the sort of report of what happened and the game talk. I also have another slot here, which I'm going to fill with something eventually. And I've also bought the UHM WPE ceramic armor inserts, so again, top-notch protection. So yeah, that's about it. Oh, also I have a Velis detector. I have mentioned that before, but yeah, got a Velis detector. It's awesome. I thought about changing the pistol for something else, like a 9mm, because honestly, it'll be probably a little bit more useful, a little bit more versatile, especially if I'm going to use a detector and glow sticks and stuff, but I decided to stick with the 1911. Style mostly. Like that's about it. Okay, anyways, we are off to, not Yantar, well, we are, but we're not going to stay there. We are off to Wild Territory first. And the reason is there are a couple of tools there, or rather there should be a couple of stashes with tools there. I'm going to need those to give to the people in the mobile lab, which will then hopefully, you know, want to talk to me and not want to shoot me. But we shall see how that goes next time. Home sweet... Wait, no. This is Yantar. This is as far away from home as I can possibly be. Well, no, actually, it's just the area next door, but in many ways, it is as far as away from safe as I can possibly get right now, at least. I would argue Limansk is probably an order of magnitude worse, and yet it is equally distant from Mercenary Base, but Yantar has an element of a raw horror to it. That other, there's the radiation kicking in. That other areas around simply do not. Safer maybe the Dark Valley, but again, I will still claim that my original statement is true due to the fact that the Dark Valley is a bit further away from here, let's just say. That's some terrible shooting. Much better. Brothers, help. We're getting shot at by ecologists in Yantar. Says a loner. Okay. Yeah, for these little bastards, the laser sight will come in very handy. Very, very handy indeed. That genuinely terrified me because I didn't know what it was. That genuinely terrified me pretty bad. Ugh. Okay. Let's get out of here. Can't be that the ecologists and loners are at war, right? There's gotta be some kind of mistake. The guy probably, like, I don't know, mistyped? Or something. I mean, right? There's loners down at the base. I should be able to... Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to figure that out on my own in a little bit. Now, here's the thing. There's a problem with the 60-round magazines. Well, honestly, there's two problems with them. One, they're not very good. I mean, depending... You know, obviously, stuff like this will depend on the magazine, but generally speaking, high-capacity magazines, 30+, are not very good and not very useful. They are useful for the zone, though, which this is, again, one of those situations where what's good for the world and what's good for the army is not necessarily good for the zone, and vice versa. They are very good in the zone. However, in civilian life, in the army, and you know, in warfare, they're a bit too heavy, and that makes them kind of not worth it. Plus, their size and really their ergonomics affect the gun a little bit too much. It's not the same if you're shooting with 30 rounds in the magazine and with 60. So they affect the ergonomics of the gun and the stability of the gun negatively. They also tend to jam, which is probably the biggest problem. Like everything else you can get used to, but they tend to jam, which is a big problem. Simply put, the spring is under too much pressure and too much weight. Springs for magazines are generally kind of finicky. They're not finicky when you buy them, but the thing about magazines is usually we use them for years on end, right? That's where the problems come in. When you use the same magazine for years... matter of fact, I have... or rather... in my household, there are 2 pistol magazines with 15 rounds each. The springs on those things are terrible, because they're literally like 30, 40-year-old magazines, and they've been kept loaded for a... well, I want to say majority, but I've been misleading you. They've been kept loaded with ammunition inside them for probably, I don't know, more than 30 years. Honestly. Obviously on and off, not in a row, but they've been kept loaded most of their lives. After 10 years, it's not a problem. After 15 years, it's not a problem. After 20 years, hell, chances are, you know, if you occasionally unload them and use those magazines and they're just not sitting there on a shelf somewhere or in a safe somewhere with 15 rounds loaded, chances are they're still probably going to be good. The recommended thing to do is to not put ammo inside a magazine, but it's also not a very realistic thing to do, because if you intend to use the gun, and if you intend to keep the gun in your possession for self-defense, how are you going to shoot something with an empty magazine? Well, you're going to load the magazine whilst you need the gun? That's dangerous. I would not rely on a gun like that. I would rather buy a few magazines extra and just throw away the used ones after 10 years than, you know, risk it like that. But, like I said, 10 years, not that long of a time period. Matter of fact, I think someone shot 30-round Stand-Mag magazines after probably the same period, like 30-something, 20-something years of being loaded and untouched, just like kept in a box somewhere. And they went through the entire thing without a jam. Yeah, through the entire thing. So this is like, this is what I was talking about, like, it depends on the pistol, it depends on, or sorry, it depends on the magazine, it depends on the springs, the quality, etc, etc. But with 30 rounds magazines for rifles and 15, 20 round magazines for pistols, that's one thing. For 60, for extended mags, ugh, yeah, bit different. Double the weight, double the pressure. Needs to lift double the pressure as well when it's feeding. So, yeah. Not ideal is what I'm trying to say. Not ideal. But for the zone, it works. Okay. Probably gonna get too close to this guy, and he's gonna be upset about it. Oh? A blowout is supposed to happen soon. Okay. Interesting how I didn't get too close to that guy. Or I didn't even get the warning that I was getting close to him. Fair enough. Blowout is supposed to happen soon. Let's go to Wild Territory and the mercenary camp there. So, anyways, this area is, I think, pretty much always clear. Until it isn't, but yeah, it's no need to be tense here. There's going to be probably some trouble up ahead. Well, maybe sometimes there's mutants at either end of the tunnels, but not more than that. Usually, I guess we will see. Oh. That's a loner, though the heat thingamajigs, the anomalies making it seem like it's some sort of ghost, but no, that's a loner down there. Okay, here's the thing. Ideally, if you want to keep a loaded magazine, you don't load it to full capacity. So if it's a 15-round magazine, you load it to about 10, and you leave it like that. If push comes to shove, you're not going to need more than 10 rounds. 99% of encounters, shall we say like that, end within the first bullet. Or like 90% of the encounters, something like that. I read it's a weird statistic and it's hard to believe, but yeah, like 99% of the self-defense shootings, I think, was it. Something along those lines, end with one bullet. And first shot, so yeah, you don't need to worry about it. And if they don't, you still have like 11 more, or 9 more to... Why did I say 11? You still have 10 or 9 more, depending on how you've loaded your magazine and stuff. If you don't get why, 9 if you didn't have one in the chamber, or a chamber at the start, 10 if you did. There you go. So Lona's just going to hang around there. I heard that there was going to be... Oh, okay. Heard there was going to be a blowout, so I have to... Well, stay close to buildings, as odd as that might seem. That's the gist of it. Hey guys, how's it going? You want tapeworms? Do you have anything to trade with me, maybe? Not really, but okay. Bye. What about you? Oh, lost signal somewhere. Those are. Did it die, or did it just bugger off? Yeah, it's dead. Okay. It is dead as can be. Okay, a couple of things I want to do here. One, I want to make use of my, ooh, a corpse. Ooh, a corpse. That's probably the most mercenary thing I've said thus far. I'll make use of my sniper rifle, but I also want to check out these stashes here, like all of them. I know of 3 off the top of my head. So one should be there, or actually maybe 2. One should be there, another one should be over here, and I think there's one more in this area that I know of. Okay, is that a... What is that? Looks like a poltergeist. I mean, not there, but based on the headache that it's giving me. It's a very poltergeist-type headache. A lot of them, like, I killed 2 in Yantar, and then, like, this is the 3rd one. I mean, they're kind of common around this part, but still. There's a lot of them. Okay, some mutants down there. Seems like there's always mutants down there when I'm right. Pass by. Switch out magazines and reload. Rounds into this one. Sorry. I think I was done with the magazine story. So yeah, they tend to jam. They're heavy, and oh yeah, there's just one final thing. They're not very useful. If you can pack 2 30-round magazines or 1 60-round magazine, doesn't make that much of a difference in combat. Most fights are carried out not at close quarters, you know, not at 5 feet away from each other, more like 50 to 100 meters, and at 50 to 100 meters, swapping out mags is, it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. I mean, it's... If you have friends around you, swapping out mags at any distance is not a real problem. You just take 1 step to the side, and you switch magazines. So yeah, they don't really save you any weight, they don't really save you much, so you know, that's kind of the reason why 60 round magazines aren't really used all that much by the military. Now, for light machine guns, it's very different. They need to... First of all, they're longer range weapons. They need to sustain a rate of fire down target in order to suppress an enemy for a longer period of time. Their rate of fire is significantly higher. The ballistic characteristics of those weapons is also very different. They have more punch, they have more penetration capability, they have a suppression ability that rifles or regular rifles do not. So for them, it does make a difference. Okay, now, do they want to pick a fight with me? It doesn't look like it. I'm gonna move up and, no, I'm not. I lied. What I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna check my PDA for stashes. One there, one there. Got it. And while I'm doing this, I'm also gonna check my PDA for who the hell is in front of me. Freedom, okay. That was the sound of a poltergeist dying. Very good. Can I please get on top of this? Okay. Bogdan Telegraphist. Freedom. Okay. This guy should be mine, though. Because I'm the one that got him. And nothing useful on him. Okay. So, this guy's freedom. He won't mind me snooping around. The stash is in, I think, this building. According to what I'm seeing here. No. Or is it like further down? Ah, yeah, it's further down, closer to the downed helicopter. Okay, full metal jacket rounds. Oh, 9mm full metal jacket rounds. Sorry. Okay, so it should be somewhere around these parts. Where am I exactly looking? It's slightly to the left from where I'm looking at it. Around the midsection of the building. Is it maybe in this vent? It is not. That is also not the midsection. It should be like exactly here, right? No, it is. Ah, no, it's sort of more here. Okay. think I've got an okay idea of where it can be. I just don't know if I can get to it. Obviously, I can't go inside the building. I don't think there's going to be much behind it. But I should be able to get on top of it. Woohoo! Okay. Gunsmithing Tools. 762 x 39 full metal jacket. A TOS 34, not the greatest condition, and a tiger stripe stalker suit. Good for a disguise, but that's about it. Okay, so I now have 2 gunsmithing tools. Not my first pick of the type of tools I would like to find, but okay. I think far side of this place should have another useful stash. It's got to keep in mind that there's a bunch of vines here and that they're all deadly. Is that what I think it is? Yeah, it is. Okay. Okay. You know. Wait. Let's get the right thing out. Down and left near the Freedom Soldier. Past the dead pseudo-giant. Anything useful? Most... Well, there's an eye. I suppose someone either didn't want to take it or didn't know how to gouge it out. Either way, it's mine now. Okay, is this where the... Yeah. Advanced Tools, Field Armor Toolkit, an Echo Detector, and a can of powder. Very, very useful. Very fancy and expensive. This is, well, it's making the whole trip here worth it. There's mercenaries at the bridge, or the overlook, or whatever you want to call it, like, yeah. Mercenary Sniper Nest. Okay, that's exactly what it's called. I know that, but now I do. So there's mercenaries at the Mercenary Sniper Nest. Ooh. Okay. Can I cross here? Yes, I can. Well, this whole area is, like, cleared out. There's not much here. I mean, there was some fighting in zombies, I think, at the start, but now it's pretty much nothing. I'm too close to a free stalker, am I? Is there a problem here? Hello? I guess not. Is there a problem with you? Oh no, don't come this way. Do not come this way. I promise you, you will not enjoy it. I mean, I got what I wanted from this area, so I'm alright with leaving. Probably towards garbage next? Yeah. I mean, sure as hell not going to Rostock, so yeah. I'm gonna head towards garbage. There's a couple of places that I need to raid there, and well, it should be interesting. Also, now that I have a truce with the loners and the ecologists, I should be able to pick a fight with the duty, I'm not sure if it's a garrison there, or if it's like a checkpoint or whatever that they have, but I think they, or like an outpost, but I think they have a presence there that, basically guarding their base, so yeah. Got a Remington 700, that's neat. Very neat. Okay, that's it, I guess. Off to garbage. This was not that eventful, but honestly I'm happy with what I found. Okay, and back to, or rather back through the tunnel, which is a laborious, boring trip pretty much every time. Well, once you know how to do it, it's pretty easy. Learning to do it, a little bit more difficult because you don't really get to make a mistake. You don't really get to experiment. I mean, you know, a little bit, yeah, because you have bolts and bullet casings and stuff, but not really, so, yeah. That's why most people usually pick one route and stick to it. Alright, to the garbage.